Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to continue with the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm not going to do any examples to remind us about how that works because you guys killed this before break. So I'm confident that we have retained that skill. Just a reminder, Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are your legs and c represents your hypotenuse. And the Pythagorean theorem is used to find the missing pieces of a right triangle. This will only work for a right triangle. All right, today we're going to talk about area models. And this is just another way to use the Pythagorean theorem. An area model is three squares whose side lengths can be used to form a right triangle. So let's look at this example. I have these three squares. One side of it is called a side length. So the side length of A, side length of B, and the side length of C can be put together to form a right triangle. And I can figure out the area or the side length just using the Pythagorean theorem. So let's do an example. All right, if the area of square B is 25 units and the area of square C is 169 units, what is the side length of square A? The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and label what I know. If the area of square B is 25 units, I know that area is length times width. So I'm going to go ahead and take the square root of 25, which is 5, which means the side length of B is 5. Now I'm going to do the same thing with square C. If I take the square root of 169, that gives me 13, which makes sense because 13 times 13 is 169, and if 169 is the area, the side length must be 13. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug these numbers in for the Pythagorean theorem. I'm interested in the side length of square A, not the area. So I can go ahead and plug in what I know. 5 squared plus a squared equals 13 squared. All right, 5 squared, we already know that's 25. We don't know what a squared is. We'll bring that down. Equals 169. Now, if I subtract 25 from both sides, remember this is normal algebra, I'm going to get a squared equals 144. And remember, my last step is to take the square root of both sides. So A is equal to 12. So the side length of square A is 12. And the area would be 144. Because if one side length is 12, the other side is 12. 12 times 12 is 144. All right, just another way to think about it. Let's do another example. All right, draw an area model to prove whether sides 6, 8, and 10 are a right triangle. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a very rough area model. This will be A. This one will be B. And these two together will form C. Now, something is only a right triangle if the Pythagorean theorem works. So that means that 6 squared plus 8 squared has to equal 10 squared. Okay? So the side length of side A will be 6. The side length of square B will be 8, and the side length of square C will be 10. Now, let's go ahead and solve this out, and if both sides equal the same thing, then it's a right triangle. So 6 times 6 is 36. All I did was squared 6, plus 8 squared, which is 64, equals 10 squared, which is 100. Now again, I'm just trying to figure out if both sides equal the same thing. If they do, then it's a right triangle. So let me combine my like terms here. 36 plus 64 does indeed give me 100. And since both sides equal the same thing, this area model shows me that this is a right triangle. All right, guys, only 2 examples today. I really think that we're going to be good with this skill, so let's go ahead and practice.